welcome to Storyboard. I'm Shibani. Tata Powered had recently rolled out a film that makes a strong push for clean energy. Conceptualized by Rediffusion Brand Solutions, the film effectively conveys our collective indifference towards the treatment of our planet while making a plea to all to love Mother Earth and embrace a sustainable lifestyle and thus be responsible towards a cleaner, greener future. And it is also part of their Sustainable is Attainable campaign. To tell us more about the campaign and how do they plan to take it forward in 2024, we are catching up with Dr. Praveer Sinha, CEO and Managing Director of Tata Power, and Pramod Sharma, National Creative Director, Rediffusion Brand Solutions. Dr. Sinha, let's begin this conversation with you. Sustainable is Attainable campaign, which you launched. Tell us more on how it has panned out over the past 1 year and how do you take it forward as we step into 2024?
Sustainable is Attainable is an initiative that we did jointly with Network 18 and really appreciate the type of support that they provided to take the message right across the country in different languages. The initiative rolled out for nearly 1 year. We saw a huge amount of traction both through the electronic media, through the social media, and especially amongst the children and youth, that how they can also participate and things are not so difficult or so cumbersome, but things are something which they can implement in their lives. And I think that gave us the inspiration that we need to continue the messaging, and the narrative continues to be there that sustainable is attainable and we need to give our bit to bring clean energy solutions.
So what do we see going forward? Pramod, if you can give in your inputs on that.
I think we have planned a whole year cycle. This is what we're going to do this quarter, and this quarter. A lot of activities, like we're doing a lot of stuff which are not only pertaining to Tata employees, but it's to, the whole of India. So for example, even to schools, even to kids, we are doing a lot of things which are taking this campaign forward.
Correct. And Pramod, we over the past couple of years have seen several brands, several organizations speak about a sustainable future. So there is sort of a clutter when it comes to speaking about sustainability in advertising, in communication. How do you break that clutter? How do you stand out from the usual narrative that we have seen otherwise around sustainability? What are the challenges there and how did you go about this one specifically?
So I think, when we started thinking about this, we said it can't be a one-sided thing. That was the first thing. Okay, we have stole this thing, okay, sustainable is attainable. Okay, what we wanted to do was get emotion out of it. What happens? When I switch off the light, when I switch on the light, there's no emotion. When I put the tap on, there's no emotion. When I'm driving my car, and the fumes are going out, there's no emotion. Okay, no one thinks, I am worried about planet Earth. What we wanted to do was get emotion into it. If you see the whole film, it's all about emotion. It's all about a lonely globe, roaming around here and there. And, people are actually not taking care of it in that.
It's almost that they're passing the responsibility and passing the baton from one person to the other.
I would like to thank Dr. Praveer Sinha for that. He once told us, everyone is passing the buck. Okay, that's what we embedded the idea into it. Yeah, this is my world. No, I'm not going to I'm not going to save energy. Shibani will save the energy. Okay, Shibani won't save the energy. He will save water. He will not save water. Ye kar lega, ye kar lega, ye kar lega. This guy will do, this guy will do, this guy will do. This my neighbor will do. No, that area will do. So I think we are falling into this kind of trap.
Correct.
This is only not my problem. Okay, someone else can also do it. That's why you see households, they can live in one car. They have 3 cars, 4 cars, 5 cars. But if you are responsible to say, no, this is my problem. Okay, then we can have 1 car in a house and
Yeah.
So that was the whole idea behind it, and also a call to action, which was embrace, love, switch. What we wanted to say was embrace it, love it, and then switch. You have to get that switch angle into it, because unless you don't switch your ways, unless you don't switch your mind, this will never happen.
Yeah. Dr. Sinha, we spoke about Tata Power and its role, and how you guys are driving conversation around sustainability and clean energy. But overall, if you can also give us perspective on the sector's contribution towards, driving this energy transition.
So I think the country took a stand, and Prime Minister mentioned in Glasgow that 2070 we will have net zero. But before that, in 2030 itself, 50% of our energy will be from clean energy sources. And I think the capacity addition that is taking place now in clean energy, whether it is solar or wind or storage or pump storage, is towards how do we bring an alternative to the present way in which energy is being produced and consumed. And I think it is very important that we transition, and we transition much faster. And as corporates, as people in the power sector, it is very important and incumbent on us that we drive the change and the transition that is happening. And you would have seen that I think in 2020, we took a stand that we will not add any coal capacity. We will only add new renewable capacity. And this requires a very, very bold initiative on the part of the company, because coal has been there for many years.
Yes.
But we said that we will bite the bullet and we will take it forward.
Yeah, my next question was exactly going to be that, because I can see like a clear push towards sustainable future from Tata Power, but you also have the conventional offering, so that quite puts you in a strange position. So how do you strike that balance? How do you go about it?
So in 2015, we had just 16% of our total capacity, which was clean energy. This year, we have 38% of our capacity, which is clean. And by 2030, we'll have nearly 70% of our capacity, which is clean. So what is happening is that as and when some of our coal assets complete their life cycle or complete the contractual obligations, they will get decommissioned, and the new capacity additions will only be the renewable and the clean energy solution. So I think it's a question of transition. These are not that you stop something, because we need to find an alternate. The world needs energy. The country needs energy.
So gradual transition.
So it has to have not very gradual, a little faster. And I think the country has taken a very, very ambitious target by 2030 to have 50% of our energy coming from clean sources. So I think we are on the right track. And some of the other new technologies, especially the smart grid technologies and the smart metering and all that, where we are also telling the consumers that how you can use energy in a much more responsible way, so that you do not waste energy, and the information that is being given to them on real-time basis will support them in taking a decision that they can also drive this sustainability initiative or clean energy initiative. So I think both conservation, utilization and supply has to work in tandem, and everyone has to take ownership of it.
Correct, correct. Dr. Sinha, since we are catching up right at the start of the year 2024, also if you can share with us, your outlook for the year.
So I think one thing is very certain, that the energy requirement is increasing. It is not only increasing in terms of the industrial or commercial or residential, but also in transportation. And we have seen in mobility also the energy requirement is increasing, because the country is growing and is doing very good. Now, having said that, it is important that we come with alternates. So in mobility, the electric vehicle and the charging infrastructure that needs to be supported is something that we are working on. And we definitely want that we give alternate solutions to the consumers, which are not only clean energy solutions, but are also affordable, and they are in large quantums, and there is no shortage of energy, and the growth that we are facing should not get hampered because of the less energy supply. So I think the country in 2024 will do exceedingly well, as it has been doing in the last few years, and I think the pace will only increase. Clean energy solutions will get more of emphasis, and there will be more of investments that will happen in clean energy. And I think the timeline that we have set for ourselves of 2030, we need to work little more. I wish we had more than 24 hours a day, but I think we need to work continuously 365 days.
Yeah, so 50% till 2030 and net zero till 2070. Also, if you can give us your perspective on the overall power sector and how moving forward, what can be done to meet this increasing energy demand for the country.
So I think one thing is certain, that today clean energy solutions are much cheaper The only challenge is that clean energy today is transient. Solar is during daytime and wind is in the evening and night. So how do we package it on a 24/7 basis based on the requirement of the customer? So some of the storage solutions, battery storage will come, some of the solutions on pumped hydro, and many of these solutions which are still in works, especially the SMRs, the small modular nuclear reactors, those also needs to be worked on. So I think a comprehensive view has to be taken in terms of putting all these solutions together and thereby offering the customers not only clean solutions but also affordable solutions. Because energy is something which everyone uses, whether it is in urban areas or rural areas. And I think Tata Power will be right in the forefront in driving most of these solutions in the country. And we feel very, very gung-ho about the opportunity that is there in the country in next few years to implement many of these initiatives.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today. Thank you, Pramod. Thanks for joining us today. It is time for a short break. On the other side, we have Kartik Mohindra, Chief Marketing Officer, Pernod Ricard India, speaking about the launch of their new brand, Longitude, and the rise of Indian single malts and more. French spirits manufacturer Pernod Ricard, known for its brands such as Chivas Regal, Jameson, Absolute and Blender's Pride, Pernod Ricard recently launched their first premium Indian single malt brand, Longitude 77. And now, as we step into 2024, Pernod is taking their new Indian single malt brand to global markets. Ahead of their Dubai launch, in a special chat, we are catching up with Kartik Mohindra, Chief Marketing Officer, Pernod Ricard India, on their new brand, Rise of Indian Single Malts, sharpening their India focus, premiumization and their strategy for 2024 and much more. Kartik, welcome to CNBC TV18.
Thank you very much.
So, Kartik, you've recently launched Pernod's first Indian single malt brand, Longitude 77. Tell us what has been the response so far for the brand over the past couple of weeks and what was the reason for the launch?
We had a fabulous launch here in Gurgaon, and I think the reviews that we've got from consumers and aficionados alike, that it's an exceptional product and we are extremely proud of it and very bullish about its future. And yes, you're absolutely correct. In the coming days, we're going to spread our wings into Dubai, which we believe has huge amount of potential with a lot of affluent Indian expat audiences. I'm sure they too will love the product.
And what is your strategy to tap into, the Indian diaspora in the Middle Eastern market?
So I think the fundamental of our product is the finest that India has to offer. Right. So as the name suggests, Longitude 77 is representative of India. It celebrates India, its terroir, its rich heritage, and the special process of whiskey making that we bring on board. And we do believe that the audiences, particularly in Dubai, who know the single malts very well, would appreciate the fine craftsmanship that went behind this product. And we do believe that Indian pride is a very, very strong motivator these days and here to stay. And that's really what we are presenting to our audiences. Similar to our event in India, we will again, invite the who's who of Dubai to our event, do our unique storytelling about the Longitude 77, and give a taste to the audiences of what is great liquid and how we are celebrating the rich diversity that this country has to offer.
Over the past couple of months, in fact, we have seen how in this entire realm of premium single malts, the Indian single malts especially are emerging as winners. They are extremely popular, becoming very popular globally. How is this, Kartik, according to you, reshaping this entire spirits market?
You're absolutely correct. I think India's always, for many years now, been the largest whiskey consuming nation in the world. But I don't think India has got its rightful place in the world of quality and premium whiskey making as a provenance. And I think that's what a lot of our the other players in the alcohol industry of India have been dabbling with in the recent years with a lot of success. Some really good products out there in the market. So I think and they are beginning to find a very interesting part of the bars across the world, and which is great. And they're also winning significant awards, which are a badge value to the authenticity and the quality that they're putting out there. But I think individually, as brands and collectively, I think we can work towards in truly putting India on the global map of quality and premium whiskey making. And I think that's really the most exciting part that we would be eager to see and shape in the years to come.
Yes, and as you mentioned, India is traditionally a whiskey-loving nation, and the proof of it is you go to any international airport, you see Indian and Indian families carrying their permitted 2 liters at any of those airports, and it's a regular sight over there. But having said that, being one of the largest players in this space, what are some of the key trends that you are seeing when it comes to whiskey consumption, and how will it shape your strategy moving forward in 2024?
I think, thank you for that. I think it's quite the rather definitive era of the alcohol industry here in India, and to us, the younger emerging consumers are very different, cohort as compared to generations before them. They're highly experimentative. Uh, Premiumization is an extremely important part of their lives, and as they move up the financial or their career ladders, they do believe in sort of endorsing brands that create a far stronger impact with their individual requirements. Consumers today have a far more deeper relationships with any brand that they endorse, right? Whether it's whiskey or any other category, and they want to know so much more about the process, and not simply about what the brand is about or the comp strategy that it does. So I think that's where, to us, India is truly emerging. The consumers are going to have a very strong opinion on the brands of their choice. But of course, the good news for the Indian consumer is that while they have a much wider uh, consumption occasion set, and of course a wider repertoire of brands or categories that they endorse. Ultimately, to them, the definitive product and which offers a lot of reflection on their status remains whiskey. And we at Pernod Ricard are very closely not only monitoring but also influencing these trends. And we do believe that we have a very expansive portfolio straddling multiple price points, multiple provenance led stories that will be able to cater to these emerging needs.
Interesting times also, Kartik. At one end, we see how the Indian alco beverage market, is, it's intensifying. It's getting so competitive, with players, with new launches every month. But at the other end, there are so many restrictions when it comes to advertising. The most recent one has been where, the advertising budget for brand extensions has to match, the restricted master brands, the extension of the sales turnover. Your thoughts on this, and also if you can share, Kartik, as a marketer, then how do you reach to your TG? How do you do it creatively?
We are not only compliant with the evolving regulatory landscape, but equally we keep engaging with them to make sure that we also promote business practices while they remain compliant, but also are let's say business focused. So those conversations are ongoing, and we hope that we'll be able to come to a meaningful solution on that, which is pro-industry in a certain way. But let's see. Having said that, when it comes to some of our marketing strategies, yes, we remain committed to the laws and the regulations of this country. And I think one of the biggest endeavors in this regard, of course, would be to make sure that we are present in the right channels. We are activating. We are talking about getting our brands in the hands of the audiences when they seek those particular experiences. Uh, Additionally, I think the again going back to the great rise of the India story in so many years, I think what's really interestingly emerging is that trends are no longer coming from the urban centers. We see a lot of these experiential interests cascade into tier two, tier three. No longer can one focus only on the big cities, right? So what it means is that we have to go and penetrate the market further, go deeper into the cities, engage with them in the on or off premise where the consumers visit, and do storytelling over there. So yeah,
So
we'll keep finding.
experiential is one of the strategies.
Well, this is likely to be one of the biggest and the most important in the years to come.
All the best for that. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.
With that, it's a wrap on Storyboard this week. You can catch all of our content on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Thanks for watching. We will be back same time next week. See you soon.